Teach for America is a national core of outstanding, primarily recent college graduates from all over the country and all different academic majors and career interests who commit 2 years to teach in urban and rural public schools and become leaders in the effort to expand educational opportunity. Our mission is to build the movement to eliminate educational inequity by enlisting our nation's most promising future leaders in this effort. In the short run, what our teachers, we call them core members, work to do is ensure that the students growing up in our country's lowest income communities are given a great education. In the long run, these alumni become a powerful force of leaders working from inside education and from outside of education in the community to affect changes that we need to see in order to make sure that every kid in this nation receives a great education. Here is a map of all of the 39 different regions where Teach for America is currently located. We started here in Alabama beginning this year in August. If you notice, we're also in several different southern cities: Jacksonville, Charlotte, Atlanta, Nashville, Memphis, and New Orleans. And for the time that we've been there, we've seen a lot of significant gains from our teachers, but we're also starting to see alums move into leadership positions in those school districts. I'm not going to read you this entire slide, but I look at this slide every day when I wake up to make sure that I remember exactly why I left my position as an attorney to take this job and what motivated me to teach and what motivates me every single day. Only 1 in 10 students from low-income communities will graduate from college. That is startling. And it is not a result of them not being talented. Absolutely not. And we believe that those students are capable of achieving great things, and we want to ensure that every one of those students attends college and graduates from college and is ready to compete with their peers. If you look at where we're recruiting at over 450 colleges and universities all over the United States. In 2010, these are the percentages of the different senior classes that apply to Teach for America. 20%, 1 out of every 5 students at Spelman College apply to Teach for America. Roughly 1 out of every 5 students at Harvard and Yale University apply to Teach for America. If you look down the list, you can certainly read this for yourself. Lots of great universities from all over the country. Morehouse College, 10%. Vanderbilt University, 9%. Here in Alabama, we have graduates from Stanford, graduates of Vanderbilt, graduate of Columbia, and then graduates of Emory teaching right here. Our selection process, this is just a window into our selection process. Last year, we had 12% of our applicants were accepted for 4,500 incoming core members. So the roughly 46,000 applicants that we received, we accepted only 12% and it yielded 4,500 teachers. We are looking for lots of different things when we are selecting these teachers. Certainly we're looking for past achievement, past strong academic achievement. We're looking for people who persevere in the space of challenges, who have long-term leadership positions. They're not a member of 20 clubs, but they're substantially involved in significant leadership opportunities. They have strong critical thinking skills, and they demonstrate respect for the students and families in the low-income communities that they are going to serve. Our interview process, our selection process is 3-tiered. The first tier is a written application. Then the second is a phone interview, and on the third, if you get to the third round, it's a full-day interview which includes a personal interview, a sample teaching lesson, a problem-solving activity, and a group discussion. As part of our training is multifaceted. It's 30 to 35 hours of independent reading heading into our week-long induction program. And that's when we have a week-long program here, for example, in Alabama, where we introduce our teachers to each other, to the districts, to the students they will be serving, to other teachers, to community members, and to one another. After they finish the induction, they go to a 5-week training institute where they will be teaching classes and reflecting on that. It's a rich, accelerated learning environment. And the key is that they're going to develop the key knowledge, skills, and mindsets to become a highly effective teacher. When they return, we begin the first of our 4-part professional development series. We call them rounds, and the first is round 0. And we have a kickoff week. And during that week, we help prepare them for the first day in the classroom. And we're collaborating with the schools. This is in conjunction and working with the principals and the superintendent and the other teachers and working within their vision and aligning what we are doing with our professional development to make sure that we are meeting the needs of those students and the vision of the various principals and superintendent in the districts that we serve. And throughout the 2 years that they are here, and I'll talk about a little bit more about that in a minute, they will be getting significant professional support from our team. Surveys have shown 91% of the principals that we serve, that our teachers serve in, say that our training is as good as the training that that the other teachers have received, and 67% of the principals say the training is better. We, over the last 20 years that we've been around, this is our 20th year of operation, we've been studying what makes our teachers successful, and we've identified a few principles that we stress both in the selection process, but also in the professional development sequence that they go throughout the 2 years. We want them setting big goals for their students, not just quantitative, although that's very important. We are a data-driven organization, but qualitative. What is true for your students at the end of the year? When I was a teacher, one of the goals that I had was every one of my teachers would teach a lesson, every one of my students would teach a lesson at the end of the year. And it was important for them to look, if they knew how to do, if they could teach the lesson, they knew the math. But just as importantly, they learned public speaking skills. They learned planning skills. They learned critical thinking. They learned to work together. And those are the kind of traits and mindsets we want our students to demonstrate at the end of the year. We want to invest the students in the classes. We want to plan purposefully, and we want to execute intelligently. And that, and again, we want to do this in a collaborative spirit. We know that we don't have certainly all the answers, that there are a lot of great answers right in the districts that we serve. And by working with veteran teachers, by working with principals, and letting them know what we're doing and finding out what those principals are doing, we find that we are most effective that way. The ongoing support is multifaceted. You're going to get observations and feedback from program directors. Well, what's a program director? I have 2 people working for me who are former Teach for America teachers. And when they go to sleep at night, and when they wake up in the morning, they're thinking about one thing: how do we make our teachers better? And they are in classrooms observing those teachers. They're reviewing teachers' lesson plans and especially their data to find what students are mastering and what objectives those students are mastering. They're videotaping classes and watching those videos with those teachers. They're talking to principals and they're talking to veteran teachers to find out, how is this student really doing? The building principal is, or how is that teacher really doing? The building principal is often going to be the best resource to know how that teacher is doing on a daily basis, and is a great resource to align our professional development. We also have toolkits. In the 20 years that we have been doing this, we assemble all of the different resources that we have. And we assemble them on something called TFANet. And what that is, it's an internet website that all of our teachers have access to. And those resources include lesson plans. Those resources include long-term plans. There are also teachers, veteran teachers that we've hired to be part of our 48-hour response team. If you have a question and you're a teacher, and you go to TFANet, you ask your question, and within 48 hours you will have a response from a veteran teacher. Maybe you're having trouble teaching the Pythagorean theorem and you need some ideas. Well, this is a resource. You can get that teacher and find resources on that TFANet. We also divide our folks into learning teams. Right now we're serving 6 different districts in the Black Belt. Once a month we have professional Saturdays. And not just on those professional Saturdays where they work, where our teachers work to learn skills and improve their classroom practice, but they get together during the week too. And they'll get together online. And all the math teachers get together and say, all right, this lesson went really well, I wanted to share that with you. Or maybe they get together and say, this lesson didn't go well at all, how can I improve this lesson? So we try and build and collaborate amongst ourselves, and again, collaborate with the districts and with the veteran teachers to make sure that we're leaving no good idea unturned. Here are just a few studies, and this is a little bit harder